Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudiraye shruti smriti purananam alayam karunalayam namami bhagavat pada shankaram loka shankaram shankaram shankaracharyam keshavam badarayanam sutra bhashya kridu vande bhagavando punah punah. So Veerah was Vividaha Samsarinam Gati Mukti Pradhanena Hanti. So V means going in various ways. So you want to postpone Mukti. Why you want to postpone Mukti? Why do you want to postpone freedom? Because you want to take a trip. That is called Vividaha Gatihi. Vividaha Gati means various travels, various trips you take. Various Gati. For each one, Gati means phalam, karma phalam. When you do things with a karma phalam in mind, then it becomes kamyam. It becomes a class. But when you give up the karma phalam, when you are not doing it for a phalam, then it becomes bhakti. So there is no big difference between upasana and kamya karma. Upasana is also work. Kamya karma is also work. In upasana there is no kama. Why do you feed your child? Because you have bhakti and you don't expect anything back. Why does the child let you feel? Because he wants something from you. So from his perspective it is kamya karma. From your perspective it is. So this world is going to go this way. Nothing is going to change. The world is eternal, shashvatam. But the way you look at it will change. When will you change? When you see that there is no point in becoming a kami. Because kama will lead to what? Phalam. Phalam will lead to what? Klesham. When you get phalam, there is always klesham. But if you have no desire for phalam, then your bondage to action is just fun. Whatever you are doing, it is for fun. So that elimination of phalam cannot be enforced. You cannot say to others that, hey, give up, be a bairagi, go to forest. You cannot say that. Why? Because it has to fall off by itself. By itself, falling off means you become mature and it falls off. Na karmani tyajet prajna karmana tyajate hyasau. You don't give up the karma, karma gives you up. In India, when you break your hand, they put in Tamil plastari. Plastari means that. Yeah. Even there is one more good name. Caste. So that caste has to fall by itself. If you force it and take that garden scissors and cut it yourself, you have to go again and put it. But if it falls off by itself, that is called maturity. Maturity is not something you will develop a horn or change your clothes, nothing. It's your mental makeup. It's a cognitive shift. Instead of looking forward, pravritti, you just look back, nivritti. This is all called vividaha gatihi. When you don't look, when you want more and more, that is called vividaha gatihi, various trips. That he cuts. How does he cut? When you are sleeping, if I just take the best necklace you have, and even in sleep you are aware of it. So if I take, you will know. You will roar like a lion. Yes. So why? Because you don't want it to be taken away. So Bhagavan will not do that. So if I say that necklace is 1 million, I'm going to give you $1 billion, meaning you have potential of getting thousands of necklaces. Then you will give it up. So who wants this necklace? You will give me a lecture. I don't want this necklace. Necklace is bad. So mukti is your surupam. What is mukti? Your own surupam. Will you choose between yourself and necklace? What will you choose? Will you choose yourself, or I'm giving you a choice? You can live for 100 years, or you can live for 5 minutes with this necklace. No, take it. So mukti is your own surupam. Muktir means muktir hitvanyatha rupam swaswarupa vyavasthitihi. By giving up all other forms of yours, what are the other forms you have? A pleasant self, an unpleasant self. You make this decision. Who is looking at you as dukhi? The neighbor is not coming and telling you are depressed. You know that. From your inside it is coming, that jnanam, that is dukkham. So dukkham and sukham is your own perspective. All that's called vividha gatihi. Sometimes you are a dukhi, sometimes you are a sukhi. This is called Vividaha Gati. That you give up. You cannot give up. He has to give that mukti. He has to give that maturity. That's his kripa. That is what he says. Vividaha samsaranam gatihi. This trips they take. Mukti pradhanena hanti. He removes it. So it is not only Kamsa with Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu he kills. He kills the samsari in you. He kills who? He will not kill you. Jaya and Vijaya will prevail. But the Kamsa and Ravana will go away. That is why he is called as Veeraha. And then Rakshanaha. Sattvam gunam adhisthaya jagatrayam rakshati iti Rakshanaha. So, he is established in Jnanam. What is Sattvam? Jnanam. What is Rajaha? Kamam. What is Tamaha? Ajnanam. These are the three possibilities. There is no fourth possibility. Whichever thing you take, you have work, you have no work, or you have just knowledge. Suppose you do a business, you have attained perfection in it. You don't have to do anything, you only have to run it. Any addition will be a problem. It will make it toxic. That stay put and just protecting it's called Rakshanam. For that, what do you need? Sattvam. You don't need any more action. Any more action will make it a mess. So everything is going well. You just look. That is called Sattvam. Tad gunam adhisthaya saha rakshati. Hence he is called as Rakshanaha. If you analyze only till you attain a thing, you have to work. Once you have done that work, all you have to do is just cruise control. Yeah, you cannot influence the course because that will create an untoward and untoward result. That is why Vishnu is Nishkriyaha, Sattvaha, Jnanam. Tad gunam adhisthaya. He will never go into rajas or tamas. He will always stay put in whatever Lakshmi says. He will just listen. You don't have to react because you have already gained everything. Why would you mess it up by just one word? So Sattvam gunam adhisthaya. He rakshati. He protects himself and others. Both are protected. Mahalakshmi is also protected by this Sattvam. And then Rakshanaha Santaha. The third one is Santaha. What is a Santaha? Santaha is a plural. Plural means many good people. What is the meaning of Santaha? Many good. Santaha is not one. So what is a one good person? Sat. Sat Purushaha. You don't say Sant Purushaha unless you are a Punjabi. This is Sant Mahatma. I don't know how they get it, but in Sanskrit it is Sat Purusha. Sat means one. Sat, Satau, Sataha. San, Santau, Santaha. So one person is only Sat Purusha. So Santaha means many good people. That's what Shankara writes. San Marga Vartinaha Santaha. People who are in the Sat Pantha. What is Sat Margam? What is San Margam? San Margam is a Margam where is no interference from Asat. San Margam means all there is only good. It is very straightforward. San Margam means a Margam which is not crooked, which is straightforward. For example, if you take the word Satyam, the word Satyam has two components, Sat and Tyat. Tyat means false. What is the meaning of Satyam? Tyat means false. Sat means true. So Satyam always presents itself as true and false. You will never get true in this world. Whatever deal you are making, it is always mixed. You can never be 100% sure that this is 24 karat gold necklace. No. It will be only 22 karat. There will be 2% in copper in India and 6% in USA, 18 carat. Why? Because if it is Sat, then it is silence. There is no need to proclaim itself as truth. Truth is self-revealing. That is the Swarupam of truth. So you need that Tet, you need that Maya in order to announce that this is Sat. So those people can never be Sanmargavartinaha. Sanmargavartinaha will be only Sat. There won't be Tet. That means they will only have Bhagavan. They will not have anything other than Brahman in their drishti. Those people are called as Santaha. So in order to reach that state, Santaha, you have to be Vishnu's Vibhuti. If an iota of your old self is existing, that means there is Tet. There is an interpolation. Then you will not be a Satpurusha. That's what he is saying. In order to be a Santaha, you need two things. Tadrupena, meaning Sadrupena, in the form of Santaha. Vidya Vinaya Vrdhaye Sa Eva Vartate. In order to increase Vidya and Vinaya, he himself becomes those Santaha, good people. In other words, good people are Vishnu's own form, Vishnu's own Vibhuti. So this is how you become Santaha one day. From Satyam to Sat, what is the journey? Vidya and Vinaya. By providing Vidya and Vinaya, Vishnu himself becomes that Satpurusha. That is all the Santaha, we consider them as God. Anybody who has become a Santaha, they have got these two things. What? Vidya and Vinayam. What is Vidya? Swarupa Jnanam. What is Vinayam? Nischayam. So, you heard Tatvamasi in the class, you understood. Then you go outside and think, really am I Tatvamasi or something else? That means you have not had that Nischaya, that Vinaya has not manifested. That's why Vidya has to go and end in Vinayam. Vinayam is doubtless knowledge. Who says that? Chanakya. Vinaya Shastra Nischaya. Vinaya means Nischayam. Visheshena Nayam Nischayam. A knowledge without any mixture of doubt. That is called Vinaya. That is what is going to make you a Santaha. And when you have become a Santaha, then you are not there. Then what are you? You are Vishnu. You are Vishnu's Vibhuti. That's what will happen. That's what he writes. See, Sanmargavartinaha Santaha. Santaha are people who are associated Varti, meaning associated with, being. What? Sat. They don't have the Tet. They don't have the Maya. They only have pure truth in them. Then how do you get there? Tadrupena kadam bhavati Vidya Vinaya Vrdhaye Sayeva Vartate. He himself will come and assist you by providing you with Vidya and Vinayam. If Vinayam has not come, then there is a lack of Vidya. When Vidya increases, Vidya means knowledge. When knowledge increases, Vinayam will happen. What? Vinayam means what? This is not Vinayam. This is Vinayam. When the tree is filled with mangoes, what will happen? It will go down. Similarly, when Vidya fills you up, you naturally get Vinayam.
Vinaya meant something else earlier.
Vinaya means, it could be.
In the Vishnusahasranama only Vinaya earlier.
Yeah,
came.
it could be. Vinaya means humility.
Humility.
Yeah, that is a normal meaning.
But it didn't mean humility there.
Then it
punishment and...
Oh, Naya. Naya means politics.
Huh.
There it means Dandaha. Vinaya means Dandaha.
Yeah.
So that will make you submissive, right?
Okay.
So if you don't get it from the inside, then you will get it from the outside. She will remind you. Ajnanam, Avidya. She means what? Avidya. That will remind you that you need to be improved. Probably it came in that meaning there. Vinayaha. See, the word words have got avayava shakti, meaning their part also has meaning. When you have meaning for the part, then there can be limitless meaning. That's why Sanskrit has that. It could mean the thing and the opposite. So usually you will think what Satyam means truth. Satyam is not truth. Satyam means truth with a few questions. The Tet has to go, then only it becomes Satyam. That's what the Veda says at least. Before reading the Veda, nobody will think that Satyam is untruth. They will think Satyameva Jayate. What I said is truth. But it is true only for this time and place. When you go there, you cannot keep right. You have to keep left. The rules changed. Satyam changed. That is why Veda says, Satyatyacha bhavat. Sat and Tet, the same thing became. Vijnanam cha vijnanam cha. Sat can be known. Tet cannot be known. Because how do you know duplicity? You can give a definition for truth. 2 plus 2 is 4 is the truth. You can give a definition for that equation. But falsehood, how do you... He can say that it can be 3 plus 1 or 1 plus 3. There are so many fermentation and combination for falsehood. It would appear as though it is truth, but it is not. That is why you can never completely know falsehood. That is why it is not worthy of knowing. That is why we say, don't try to investigate how you got that headache. Because for you it is a headache, for somebody else it is something else. So you went and struggled and invented this Advil and take this medicine to him. For him there is another problem. So all your investigation is wasted. It's a subjective ailment. So the doctor cannot cure it. The subject has to cure it. He cannot do that. By taking money, he cannot cure your ajnanam. Hence you have to work it out. That can happen only with Vidya and Vinaya. By providing that, Vishnu makes you Santaha.
So you said earlier Sat to Satya. What does that mean?
What?
I thought earlier you said Sat to Satya.
No, I said that Satyam means, we assume, Satyam means you assume it is truth. But that truth, in the worldly sense, is mixed with untruth. There is nothing in this world you will find 100% true. So when you suffer, I will follow you. I can say all that, but it doesn't happen. In reality, when you suffer, you suffer. There is a truth. But we tell as though, when you go to Gurukulam, Upanayana is done. You say that, Satyam Bravimi, I will say the truth. When the Guru says, I will read. Everything I will say. Badam, that's what the Guru will say. As Prativachanam. But in reality, when you go through the Gurukula's education, it doesn't happen. So any promises you make, it is only good for that moment. The next moment that changes. You will always have a justification again. That is why Satyam is never possible in duality. Sat is non-dual. Tyat is Satyam in duality. Truth as it happens manifests. Manifested truth is Satyam. Unmanifest truth is Sat. That's why always they say Sat. Without this combination of Tyat, you cannot present truth in this world. Who is that? Francis Bacon, the Chancellor of Germany. He had written an essay on truth. So they write essays on everything. They know everything, right? On anger, on truth. It's there Bhagavad Gita. Because he is Chancellor, you have to read. It has to be he is the father of nation of Germany. Iron Man of Germany. The Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel of Germany. So in every university you have to. I don't know why in India in MA English you have that as textbook. I can understand if it is in Germany. But anyway, we had it in our English literature. The truth, he says, is like gold. Gold cannot be strong without mixing copper. Similarly, business truth. He makes a difference between real life truth and business truth. In business, truth has to be mixed laced with a little bit of lie for enhancing the customer's quality of life. It is not for you. That also is putting on the customer. So the merchandise, there's nothing wrong if you add a little bit copper. Otherwise, you give a necklace and it breaks. And who gets the husband will get all the credit. Hence, you mix up this copper with the truth, with the gold. That's how he defines truth. Truth by very definition, business truth, transactional truth, truth in governance. He says has to be laced with lie. He is being very honest. He is being very truthful about truth. That's what truth is. That's what the Veda says. Satyam has these two aspects. Satyam cannot be completely truthful. It has got Sat and Tyat. If you sit in your Swarupa silent without coming out, then you are truthful. The moment you open your mouth, what is going to come? You have no control. That's why whenever we say something, commentary and all, you shake your head. No. Because the truth appears something else for you. And it is very obvious to you. For the speaker, it is not. Hence, truth is never possible without Vidya and Vinayam. So, by providing Vidya and Vinayam, you have to know all the aspects of that. For knowing everything, there is only one way. Know Bhagavan. Because if you know Bhagavan, you know everything. That is why Ganapati went around 3 times. By knowing him, he knew the entire universe, he knew. That is why you have to know Ishvara. If you know Bhagavan, if you know Vishnu, how? By Vidya and Vinayam. Vidya you need because your mind has to open up. Education. Vinayam you need because then somebody will teach you. Otherwise they will say, okay, next class. So Vidya, Vinaya, Vruddhe, these are all Atma Gunas. Vidya and Vinaya is not the quality of your mind. The mind cannot decide that I am going to know. Just like the mind cannot decide that you have to sleep or I don't want to sleep. That also the mind cannot decide. Similarly, Vidya also, you only can make the condition for Vidya. You cannot force self-realization by sitting in self-realization fellowship. You can go and sit there, but self-realization will not happen without Vinayam. Vinayam means Nishchayam. Nishchayam will come from Vidya. What is Vidya? Tapas. What is Tapas? Alochanam. So you have to sit and meditate and know it. That meditating is called creating the condition. Whether you get it or not depends upon whether Vishnu wants you to be his Vibhuti or not. That is why Shankara clearly says, Tadrupena Vidya Vinay Vruddhye Sayeva Vartate. He comes and sits in you in the form of the manifestation of Vidya and Vinayam in you. Why has Vishnu has to come and manifest as Vidya? Because Vidya is not enforced. Knowledge is not forced. Knowledge happens. You put the music, Ravi Shankar, Yoga Nidra, and then be yourself. Then it happens. What? Yeah, similarly, Jnanam also, you say, you do all this tapas, and then it happens. One fine day, you see that you are quiet. Nothing bothers you. All the thunder and lightning, they are all muted. As though you have the remote control. That happens. That is called Vinayaha. And that is the manifestation of him, Vishnu himself. Sayeva vartate. That is the point. Sayeva vidya vinaya rupena abhivruddhaye vartate. Iti santaha. That is why Vishnu is called a saint. All saints. Santaha means all saints, not one saint. All saints. Santaha and Jivanaha. What is Jivanaha? Jivanam sarva bhuteshu tapascha asmi tapasvishu. That's what he says in the Gita. I am the Jivanam in all the Bhutas. All the Bhutas are Jivanam. What is Jivanam? Living. Why the Bhutas are enlivened, living? Because there is Jivanam inside them. Who is that Jivanam? I. That is what Krishna says. Tapascha asmi tapasvishu. That is the second line. That was the last one. The tapascha asmi tapasvishu is for Santaha. Why? Without tapas, you don't get Vidya and Vinaya. And Jivanam, you don't get without the presence of Paramatma in you. That is why Vishnu is called as Jivanaha. What Shankara writes? Sarvaha prajaha prana rupena jivayan. What is jivayan? Causative. Jivati means lives. Jivayati means causes to live. You cannot cause yourself to live. If you were the cause of your living, you won't go to Cleveland Clinic. Because you can provide prana for yourself. You don't need life support. You can support yourself with your own life. Take some life from your pocket and put in yourself. So you are always jivayati. Prana is always provided by an external source. And that external source is called jivayati, jivanaha. And that is Vishnu. 200 years before, what was the jivanaha? Everybody was doing that, living and knowing. They didn't have this life support system or anything. So all along, it is Paramatma who was providing this pranaha. That's what Shankara writes. Sarvaha prajaha prana rupena. Life support is a good thing. When you are very well and good, you pay the insurance, and for a few minutes you get that. For extending your life for a few seconds, you plan entire life, pay insurance, and get that few seconds extra support. As though, even that is Vishnu's plan actually, to steal butter from you first and then give it to you back. Sarvaha prajaha prana rupena jivayan jivanaha. Paryavastitaha. Why do you want to make a quarrel with Cleveland Clinic? It's very simple. Unless you see dukkham in all this, you'll have a lot of value in these things. Then always you'll be an insurance thinker. You'll never become a Vishnu thinker. So you have to put a stop to this samsara thinking. A little bit you also practice this. Whoever wins, wins. The best one wins. If Vishnu is strong, then let him win. Don't let the insurance industry take over. Have some spirituality as well. Hence he is Jivanaha. Paryavastitaha. Paryavastitaha means Paritaha avastitaha. Paritaha means all around. Avastitaha means he is. Whatever you see around is him.
This is like Sarvavyapi.
Yes. Shankara says, see, Sarvataha Vishwam Vyapya Avastitaha. Exactly that. Sarvataha Vishwam Vyapya Avastitaha. Vishnu is the one who, as prana. Where is prana? Where is oxygen? We are not in Delhi. Everywhere. You are surrounded by Sarva Vyavastitaha. That is Paramatma. Actually, it's in the Narayana Upanishad. The other day we were chanting, Andar Behischa Tat Sarvam Vyapya Narayana Sthitaha. Where is Narayana? When Hiranyakashipu asked, what did Prahlada say? Andar Behischa Tat Sarvam. He is inside you, outside you. Then Hiranyakashipu does not want to cut his heart and see. So he asked safely, is he in the pillar? Yes. That is why everybody's mother, my mother is Kantimati. Who is Narasimha's mother? Stambha. He is called Stambhaputraha because he came out of the pillar. So one Panditji was giving a lecture. So he was very happy. Somebody asked, why are you so happy? I got one listener to me. He was sitting and listening. Who was that person? It was Narasimha's mother. So he was talking. At least he could talk to that, Okay, so Paryavastitaha means one who is around everywhere. Andar Bahischatat Sarvam Vyapya Narayana Sthitaha. It is Sruder Arthamaha. Paritaha Sarvataha Vishwam Vyapya Avastitaha. It is Paryavastitaha. You don't have to search for him in temples. He is right there. So you have to know that and then you can meditate on him. Why he is Paryavastitaha? Because he is Anantarupaha. He can also come in the form of a pillar. Anantani Rupani Asya Vishwa Prapancha Rupena Sthitasya Sahasrani Sahasrada Bahuvo Stava Hetayah. All the hands are yours. Everything belongs to Parameshwara. That is what? Asya Rupani. How can you have Ananta Rupa? Vishwarupam. Whatever Rupam you see in this Vishwam, that is Vishnu. That is why Vishnu is called Ananta Rupaha. Anantani Rupani Asya Vishnoho. How? Vishwa Prapancha Rupena. Prapancha. The five has become this. So first there was Atma, then Akasha, slowly all the five bhutas. Those five bhutas again became all these many rupas. Any rupa you dissect, you won't find a sixth element. They'll talk it movie, there is always a movie. But there, even in that movie you can only find five elements. The sixth element was like, they tried to show some music. So it is again Akasha. So, Prapancha Rupena, all these five elements is nothing but Vishwarupaha. That is why he is called as Anantarupaha. Prapancha Rupena Sthitaha iti Anantarupaha. The Kaivalya Upanishad also says that Achintyam Avyaktam Anantarupam. Kaivalya Upanishad. He says Anantarupam. Also in Bhagavad Gita. Pashyami Tvam Sarvato Anantarupam. Hey Krishna, Aham Tvam Sarvatra Pashyami. Arjuna says afterwards. When Krishna says, Divyam Dadamite Chakshuhu, I am going to give you this 3D glasses. That is the Divya Chakshu. If you don't have 3D glasses, everything is you don't see it properly. So Krishna gives him Divyam Chakshu, an extra pair of eyes. When he gives that, what does Arjuna say? Pashyamite sarvato ananta rupam. Now I see every form is yours. Then Hare Krishna, Hare Rama people, they put a big head and 100 heads to give you a depiction of that. And they are all European heads. None of them are Indian. That's okay. Even European heads are Vishnu. So that is how he became Pashyami Anantarupam. Any form I see, now I understand. That cognitive shift happened in Arjuna. And he sees the entire Vishwam as Anantarupam. There is a Gita. So Shruti and Smriti supports this. That Vishnu is Anantarupaha. And then Ananta Srihi. Ananta Aprimita Srihi. So his Srihi, his wealth, is Ananta. There is no end. You cannot count it in trillions. It goes on and on. Why? Because that Srihi is not mere wealth. That's Srihi, his Sri is called not wealth, but buying power. Which is better? Would you like to have wealth or buying power? You will naturally go for the buying power. I don't want any wealth. I want buying power. That is called Parashaktihi. Srihi is here. The power to achieve anything. Parashaktihi. Power not only for buying, for doing anything, para, to the extent. So that Parashakti he has. That is why he is called as Ananta Shakti. How do you know the Upanishad says that? Parasya Shaktir Vividheva Suruyate. We hear that this Paramatma Shakti are Vividha, are multitude, numerous, many, not one or two. Also Vividha, they are all various. Many means number. Various means kind. So different kinds. So it's not like all the Shakti is in the form of bread. No. He has all different varieties. It's like Walmart. You will get everything under one roof in Vishnu. That's why Parasya Shaktir Vividha. It is Para and Vividha. It is Sruyate. Shweta Sudara Upanishad. That is why he is called as Ananda Sri. Karya matram prakritvena vyapika. That's what he says elsewhere. Karya matra means anything that is an object. Anything that is a effect. What is karyam? Effect. Vishnu is the cause. All that is effect or effect's effect. You are the effect. Your cause is your dad. Finally it ends up in Vishnu. So you are ultimately what? Effect of the effect. Anything that is born is of a cause is a karyam. And that karyam, in order for the effect to become another effect, what is needed is Shakti. What is needed is potential, the potency. And that potency is Anantam for him. That is how, logically, you can see that anything you see as effect has to go back to a cause. And all that causes has to end up in Vishnu. If you ask why, then there is going to be a name coming up. Anadihi, there he will say that in detail. Parasya Shaktir Vividheva Shruyate iti Anandashrihi. The next one is Jitamanyuhu. Manyuhu means anger. And he is Manyupati. Why he is Manyupati? Oh, it's Manyupati. What is that? Jitamanyuhu, not Manyupati. Oh, Manyupati is Kama. Who is Manyupati? Kama. Manyupati means Suryascha Vamanyascha Manyupatayascha. Manyuhu means Krodha. Manyupati means Kama. Why? Krodha is servant. Who is Krodha? Servant. Who is the Pati of husband of or Pati, Lord of Krodha? Kama. So who is Manyupati? Whenever you have anger, there is always the Pati behind it. You are not at fault. Who is the Pati of who is Krodha's Pati? Kama. If you don't have a desire, you will never have anger. Anyway, here it is Jitamanyuhu. Why he is Jitamanyuhu? Bhrugu pada ghate napi na kupitaha. He is not even angry when Bhrugu comes and kicks on his heart. Why he is not angry? Because there Lakshmi is sitting. I found out this. Yeah. Okay. So that is why he is called as Jitamanyuhu. He has won over his anger. Manyuhu Krodaha Jitaha Yena Saha. Saha Jitamanyuhu. One who has won over Krodham. The next one is Bhayapaha. Bhayam. What is Bhayam? Samsarajam. Born of the life of becoming. What is Samsaram? The life of becoming. When you are yourself, you don't have any Bhayam. When only you have to go out of yourself to become something else, immediately Bhayam starts. That becoming something else is called Samsaram. And always Bhayam is Samsarajam. There is no Bhayam without Samsara. In other words, fear is always in reference to an external object. You are never afraid of yourself. Why would you be? Your husband can be afraid of yourself. Why would you be afraid of yourself? If you are afraid of yourself, then you have nowhere to go. The fear, even if the fear goes away, you are there. So, Abhayam Pradishtham Vindate. A person who has himself, on himself, for himself, he attains Abhayam. He attains Pradishtha. So that is what happens when you attain Swarajya. And he not only is fearless, he can also take your fear. Why? Because he can take your samsara. Your life of becoming can be removed by him by giving you mukti. That is why he is called as Bhaya Apaha. Apaha means one who removes. Samsarjam Pumsam Apagran. Apagran again means destroying. So it means eliminating completely. Otherwise what? Again it will come back. So he will remove the cause. If the cause is taken away, then there is no. That is why the word ha. Ha means to kill, eliminate completely. The next one is Chaturasraha. Chaturasraha means square. You know in English they say that. Square and fair. What do they say? Square. They have it in Sanskrit. It came from Sanskrit probably. Fair and square. Oh, square and fair or fair and square. Fair and square means somebody who is just. So somebody who is Chaturasraha means teda nahi hai. It's not like zigzag, it's square. Very clean. Cut. Clean cut. So that is the expression. Laukika Sanskrit. In worldly Sanskrit, Chaturasraha means one who is very fair. That's the meaning of this. Shankara writes that. See the meaning he writes. He explains why he is fair and square. Why is Vishnu fair and square? He explains. Nyaya samavetaha. What is Nyayam? Just. What is Samavetam? Always united with. Samavetam means? Sametam means with. Sometimes he is Sita Sameta. Sometimes he is Hanuman Sameta. That is Sameta. But Samaveta means he is non-separable. There is a difference between Sameta and Samaveta. So he is Nyaya Samavetaha. You can never remove Dharma from Paramatma. Nyaya or Dharma cannot be removed from Rama. Always he is Nyaya Samaveta. That's why he is called as Chaturasraha. Chaturasraha is square, and square is used in the sense of righteousness in Sanskrit. That's what Shankara says. Nyaya Samavetaha Chaturasraha. It is a normal usage in Smritis. In Gautama Smriti and all, they have these judgments and things, like when people do wrong things, like abhakshya bhakshanam, eating things you are not supposed to eat, pizza, and avachya vachanam, you're not supposed to call somebody, you can call honey, that's okay. So avachya vachamscha buhun, and when you say that in the Manusmriti, there is also punishment. We also talk about punishments. So that is called Nyayam. That is called Niti. And Vishnu is always endowed with the Nyayam. How? Look at that. Chaturasraha Vishnu Katham Pumsam Karmanurupam Phalam Prayachati. Because he always gives results according to the action they have done. Which means what? Which means if he is not Chaturasraha, two things will happen. He will give a result that person does not deserve. Right? Something he does not deserve, if he gives, then what happens to Vishnu? He will become a Vishama. Sama means what? Equal. Equal to an act, if you give the salary, then you are Sama. But if you give the result more or less, like ordinary people do, मैं देखूंगा, I will see and then give. That cannot happen with Vishnu because he is Chaturasraha, he is Nyayaha. If he gives something more or less, then he becomes Vishama. And he does not have Vaishamyam. Nirdosham hi samam brahma. He is samam, he is equal. Or if he gives a result which you don't expect. Arey Bapre, what happened? I didn't tell you this. If you start like that in the case of Vishnu, then it is called Nairgrinyam, somebody who is thankless. You ask something and you get something means what? That person is really planning against you. That also cannot happen in Vishnu. That is why he cannot be crisscross. He has to be square. That is the meaning of Vishnu being fair and square. That is why he is called Chaturasraha. So that is what he wrote. Pumsam karmanurupam phalam prayachati. Karmanurupam means not even iota will change. Exactly what your karma is, that he will, the result will come. Ramana Maharshi has worked for cancer means he will get cancer. Doesn't matter he is Bhagavan Ramana. Because Arunachala will give that cancer. But only difference is he will not have dukkam. Ramana will not have dukkam. Why? Because he is acting as though he has got cancer. Why he is acting as though he has cancer? Because he does not have subjectivity in his mind. The body is getting the cancer. He does not have agency. So that also he will give. When you become a bhakta, that is in addition. Because you are also doing something more. You are actually doing more, right? You are working in Cleveland Clinic and chanting Vishnusahasranama. You are working for salary and also doing bhakti. So bhaktya you are doing your karma. You can do just your karma. Why do you have to have bhakti for doing your karma? Why do you have to do Krishnarpanam? Why do you have to do the result? Why do you have to give the result to Krishna? Why can't you give it to your son? Then it doesn't become karma yoga. then it becomes Kama Yoga. And that is why Vishnu will come Hridyantasto Hyabhadrani Vidhunodi Suhrit Satam. He will become your Suhrit. Nivasa Sharanam Suhrit. When you take Sharanam in him, he will become Nivasaha. He will buy a property in your heart. Chaturasraha. A square he will buy in your heart and he will come and sit there. And then he will like, whatever results are coming, it will come, definitely. Whatever you have done, you will get it. There is no way of escaping your actions. But right now, without Vishnu, what you are doing is, you are assuming things. Though you are given a good thing, you don't know that. You didn't get that pilot job. You are thinking it is bad for you. But Krishna will come in the form of Shivananda and tell you, this is good for you. That telling is called your buddhi. And from that buddhi, that's what he says. Hridya antastaha. He will come and sit in your heart. Why can't he come and sit near me? Because if he comes and sit near you, you won't go to Cleveland Clinic. You will look at him. You will be enjoying that. He won't go to work. So he wants to stay in the background, and that Maya, he will not completely take it off. But slowly he will vidhunoti. The effect of that purva karma, he will dissipate. Vidhunoti means what? It will come, but it will not have any effect on you. It's like the first time when he says, hey, you don't look good. Then you keep on thinking about it 24/7. Then after 40 years, again when he says it, that's all you get. Because you become mature. Like that, Vishnu gives that maturity sitting next to you in your heart. That's the meaning of dissipation. It is the same word, it's the same object, but something changes in you, your perspective. That perspective is called buddhi. That's what Krishna says. What does he say? Dadami buddhi yogam te. I will give you buddhi yogam. When you don't have buddhi yogam, you think 24/7, you worry. But when you get buddhi yogam, you say chalega. That is why he is called Chaturasraha. Karmanurupam phalam dadati. Not more or not less. If he gives more, he will become Vishama. If he gives less, he will become Nirgrinaha. Like the local guy. You do a lot and then he gives you a little bit. Vishnu will not make that mistake. Hence he is called as Chaturasraha. Fair and square. Actually, the word Chaturasra is both fair and square. The word Chaturasra itself has both that words. That Shankara explained how. That not cutting the corner is called Nyaya. When you have a square, you cut the corners. That's called Anyaya. So without saying fair and square or square and fair, he said that. With just square, he said all. That is Shankara. Chaturasraha and Gabhiratma. How does he do all that? Because there are so many 8 billion people. How can he sit in everybody's heart and do all this? That is because he is Gabhiratma. Why? Gabhira means unknown, unknowable. What is Gabhiram? Dukkhena abhijnadam asakyam. You cannot know even if you try very hard. They tell you, like, I'm trying for 20 years, I can't understand you. That's what. Millions of births you can take, you will never understand Vishnu. If you are Gabhira, why can't Vishnu be Gabhira? Gabhira means in Sanskrit what? Nischetum asakyaha. You can never know what he is thinking. What is Gabhira? What is in his mind? Atma means mind here. The word Atma here means Manaha. Shankara writes that. See, Atma, Surupam, Chittam va. His mind. That Gabhiram. What is Gabhiram? See that Gabhiram. Parichetum asakyam. Paricheta means measure. What is Parichedana means? Measure. 2 inches, 3 inches, that measurement. Asakyatva. You cannot measure Vishnu's thinking process. He keeps it a secret because he is the Karma Phala Data. He cannot reveal that. That is why he is Gabhiratma. That is how he is Chaturasraha. That is why he is fair and square, because he is Gaviratma. Then what? Vidishaha. Dishaha means Dishati. Dishati means one who gives. That's why the Guru is called what? Deshika. Why the Guru is called Deshika? Vedanta Deshika is not the first Deshika. Those are all little bit here imitations. The original one is Bhavashankara Deshika Me. That is the first Deshika. Anyway, he is called a Deshika. Guru is called a Deshika because Dishati, he gives. Vedanta Deshika was a great scholar. He wrote something called Paduka Sahasram. This is sandwich. Appaya Dikshita wrote a commentary. Appaya Dikshita was a great Advaitin. He wrote a commentary on that Paduka Sahasram. Paduka Sahasram means Rama left his slipper for Bharata to reign the kingdom. So people normally write stotra for whom? For the king. So who is the king? Chapel, Paduka. So he said 1,000 verses for that. Sahasrama. Everybody writes stotra, yeah. Paduka Sahasram. So like Vishnusahasranama, you can study that. Every verse is beautiful. It is amazing. And Advaitin wrote commentary on it means Appaya Dikshita stayed in Kanchipuram and this Ativarada and all that. He was living there all his life. So his Ishtadeva was Varadaraja. Appaya Dikshita's Ishtadeva was Varadaraja. So he has written Varadaraja Stava. And he also wrote the commentary on this Paduka Sahasram. So Sahasram for Paduka. So that's why he is called Deshika, Guru, because he gives you. And Vishnu is Vidishaha, Visheshena Dadati.
Disha
Means to give.
Veda somewhere, right?
Huh?
Disha is direction or Veda.
Disha. Dik, Dishau, Dishaha. See, Dik means one direction. Dishaha means all the directions. Yeah. There is a noun. This is a verb. Both sounds same. You know, you don't have to say he separately. When you say she, that also happens. Like there are so many similar sounding things in the world. Like that Dishaha means Dik, Dishau, Dishaha, noun. Disha means Dishati, to give. That's a verb. Both sound similar but different. Anyway, so he is called Vidishaha. What? V means Vividhani. What is Vividham? Various phalam. Phalam means your own karma phalam, what you deserve. Vividhani. So he will not give various things to you. He will give various things to various people. Why? Adhikaribhyaha. If you qualify. If you qualify, he will give you this. Jnanam, he will give you if you have sadhana chatushtayam. If you have buddhi. If you don't have buddhi, then go and get the prerequisite. Go to Tracy and come here. You first go through prerequisites. That's why he says adhikaribhyaha. That's why first you have to earn adhikara. Before you ask anything, be a Vidisha. Give me this, give me that. That is why they say swaswadhikara mahima digamarthayanta. They don't first then go and ask Mahima. Give me this Mahima. They don't ask. For that Mahima, you need Adhikara. So first you ask Adhikara. Adhikara will give you Mahima. If you don't win the election, how do you get to be the president? So first you have to have the you have to be elected. Yeah, you have to be elected. That is called Adhikaratam. So Adhikaribhyaha. For people who are elected, Vividhani Dishati. He gives. This one day, Panditji will never tell you. They will tell that if you do one Satyanarayana Puja, you will become a millionaire. It's all true. He will become a millionaire. Visheshena Dishati iti Vidishaha. The next one is Vyadishaha. Okay. Vidisha and Vyadisha is the same, except there is one A in between. See, we A Disha is Vyadisha. V and A becomes Vya. Without A, it is Vidisha. So, Disha means to give. Adisha means to instruct. Adesh. Disha means the student comes, teach me. Dishaha. The student comes and tells, teach me this. Then you tell him, no, I will instruct you. That is called Adeshaha. First Dishada. If he is open, if it is an open box, Dishaha. If it is not an open box, Adishaha. That is what Vyadishaha. That's why he says here, Shakradinam. Who is Shakra? The most intelligent being in this universe. Who is Shakra? So actually this Shakra is the god of Medha. Shakra means Indra. Yeah. Another name of Shakra is Indra. Yaschandasa Mrshabho Vishwarupaha Chandobhyodhyamruta Artsam Babhuva Samendro Medhaya Asprunotu. That Indra, let him unite me with Medha Shakti. So Medha is given by Indra. Why? Because he has it aplenty. He has surplus. That's why he targets Indra first for Adesha. Vividham Ajnam Shakradinam Kurvan. Because if you say to the king, everybody gets. That's what they say. No, if you teach a woman, the entire village is taught. So you target the Shakra. And when all the other devas will follow suit. Hence he is called as Vividham Ajnam. That's called Adesha. What is Ajna? Adisha. Vi Adisha. Vividham Ajnam Shakradinam Kurvan Vishnuhu Vyadishaha. And finally, Dishaha. Here also Dishaha is not verb.
Veda. You said Veda last time.
Yeah, this is Veda here. See this. Samastanam karmanam phalani dishan vedatmana dishaha. He is Vedatma. He is Veda. Why Veda is the one which gives you karma phalam? Because you don't know how to get it. What is the phalam you are seeking? Sukham. What is Sukham? Atma Sukham. Where is Sukham? In you. And how to attain it? How do you get that phalam? You don't know. And who gives you that phalam? The Upanishad. And that Vedatmana, who is sitting? Vishnu. So Samastanam Karmanam Phalani. Not only your Atmajnanam, Samasta Karma. You want a Putram, Putraha, then you do Putrakameshti. You want Dhanyam, then you do Vajapayam. All sorts of karma it says. Any result you want, it has got a procedure. The Veda has a procedure. Hence it is called as Dishaha, the giver. Vedatmana, in the form of Veda. The Veda can give you all the karma phalam. Because you neither know the action nor you know the result. How are you now? We don't know what actions we should undertake. And we also don't know why we should undertake. Because if you do an action without knowing what this will lead you to, then you don't want to. If you are very specifically, I will get peace out of it. I will get self-knowledge out of it. I will get Swargam out of it. If you very clearly know the result, you will be motivated. That's why the Veda not only talks about the karma, it will also talk about the phalam. Ayurvai Ghritam. It will say Ghritam, that is karma. And it will say the phalam, what? Ayuhu. Always it will say karma and karma phalam. That's how the Veda works. Veda will always say the karma, the procedure, and then the phalam. And Tadatmana Ayameva Tishtati. It is the Vishnu who is in the form of that Veda. Swasti Prajabhyah Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahisha Go Brahmanebhyah Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samasta Sugino Bhavantu Sarve Bhavantu Suginaha Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.